So we got a little question on our brain. How hard should we race here to get around this guy? Because they don't want Chris Shaw to slip past him. But right now they don't know this. They got a pretty good cushion on Chris Shaw. Bates is going to try to pass. Bates working on the inside now of Royce Jones. They're side by side off turn 2. This time by, it'll be 2 to go for your race leader, James Riddle. Checker in the air for James Riddle. A little bump, man. I don't know if I'd do that in the E-main, but we did.
The 2, TJ Thompson out of Bivens, Texas, and J8 Paul Garrett in the 21. Kevin Rogers, the wheelman, at 16. Benji Reeves in 23. Black Cat Chris Franks in 48. Josh Glidewell in the X9, and Gary Lipscomb. Gary Lipscomb was not here last night as they go 4 wide for the race lead into 1 and 2 momentarily here. Heading off of 2, Amber Ellis in the 14 has alone. Look at the lady go. As they go 3 wide for the race lead, shakes out in the middle point of 3 and 4. And around goes Amber Ellis. The bad luck continues. Young lady's been pretty good this weekend. Just can't seem to catch a break. We'll resume this here in just a minute. You're one of only 5 drivers who've made the Cajun Classic more than 5 times. And you're 6th overall right now after last night's heat. We'll talk with you here in just a second. If you're up to it, D-Rock, as we get back underway here. Well, I guess while you have the mic in hand, you can be my in-race reporter for just a second. I mean, when you look at these guys just dicing it up right here, they're 3 trying to go 4 wide out here. I bet that even more makes you happy that you're not out there right now. You don't have to put all that wear and tear on your equipment right now.
Yeah, it's still nerve-wracking. You're watching your buddies out there.
James Thompson's driving his car deep into the corners. So this thing's going to slick off and be real good. Derek, do you prefer slick racetrack, or what's your preference? You've raced this racetrack for many years.
I always like it right around the top.
I hear you.
Smooth and calm and collective and right around the rim of it.
Yeah, we noticed last night that you were just kind of slipping up on them, waiting for them to give you just enough room. Yeah. Oh, we got trouble right here on the front stretch. Hard into the wall.
It seems to say I'm pretty good at it, so.
Yeah. Ryan Burke told me you're the hardest guy he's ever had to pass. He's been racing with you a lot of years. He said you were the toughest guy to pass. And I believe him, because I've seen it. As we re-drop the hammer here, James Thompson's driving that 85 of Reckless Abandon. He says, I've got to win this race. Every position counts right now, even though the top 4 do transfer to one of the D mains. He'll drive it back deep to the inside of the N1 of Nichols for the race lead.
Groove is changing a little bit. At least it did on that lap. James Thompson's running down low here. Paul Garrett trying to get in the show there in 21G. Is it? You said it was more nerve-wracking to watch your buddies race. I guess I know I've talked to people who'd much rather be in the race car driving than watching a family member race, and I could see your point.
Yeah, I'm sitting here right now screaming, go, Gary, go.
Gary Lipscomb, he wasn't here last night. You know, Gary's finished 4th in this race before in his career. It was back in 2006, which has been quite a few years. But I tell you what, he's still a heck of a shoe. And always race in memory of Terry with that. Oh,
there goes Paul Garrett around.
Gary's one spot out looking in. The green, yellow is on, so we stay green.
Well, that hurt Paul Garrett. That spin right there is going to end his classic.
As James Thompson looks to have this one in command, the 2013 track champion. Derek, final thing I ask you here, man. It just seemed like your car was, obviously Chris Hennigan was seemingly on another planet last night. But, I mean, you never know. If you start a few more positions back, you could have been very well up there, tied for the top spot or in the top 3. But you can't be upset with a 6th out of 139 cars.
Oh, no. When I got the message last night that's where we were pleased. Anytime you can come to one of these events and be that high with the caliber of people that are here, you can't be disappointed with it.
And one thing you kind of hit on just a moment ago is James Thompson's headed on the back straightaway, race fans. Looks like he'll take this win of the top 4. Robbie Hickman has that 4th spot right now, but Lipscomb trying to hunt him down. Derek, you can't be conservative in these races. Like you said, you kind of got your butt chewed for maybe being a little conservative, man, but you cannot lay back in these races. You got to get what you can get.
No.
We showed Seth Ball last night, so I'm not sure who's behind the wheel of the car. The 18 is Shannon Parker. Maybe there's 278s. How about that? 2M Stephen Miles, the 13X Michael Fagan, and the 416 Jason Beasley. Trouble on the 3 car of Murchison right off the bat as it dies here, and he just barely gets the car into the infield. Coming around to, we're going to go yellow. So we'll have a complete restart. Jeremy Murchison, we appreciate Jeremy coming down and racing the Cajun Classic this year out of DeQueen. Told me he was a neighbor of Mike Brophy. For those of you who remember Mike Brophy, the number 69 Hot Chassis Modified back in the day. Oh, I don't know. Somebody didn't see the light. Tyler Morgan saw it, and he heads to the point. And now we have Brian Shaver, I believe, come to a stop. And another one off the backstretch. A home run to win the baseball game. If you're going to swing, swing hard.
No doubt. Uncle Freddie Blanchard going to set the pace from the pole position here on a re-racked and stacked start. Tyler Morgan with a good bite down there at the bottom, Bill.
Yeah, we got a good battle back there for 4th right now. They're 3 wide. It's Billy Davis. Is that who that is? Getting
he
run on
wasn't
the
here
outside.
last
Look
night,
at
was
him.
he?
Yes, he was here last night.
Okay.
He just got shot out of a cannon there because he found that rubber on the outside. And he puts the 91 car into the top 4. But I tell you, that inside lane is starting to get a little better.
Oh, yeah, the more they start running down there, they'll kick some crumbs up there to the middle as well. Can you imagine when the limiteds get out there, they'll help the racetrack some as well, but I guess they're just running the main event tonight, so that's irrelevant.
Tyler Morgan getting a bite on the inside of the racetrack. He's side by side with Freddie Blanchard. It's a dead heat on the backstretch.
Good
They're coming around to complete lap number 3.
Oh, and somewhat of a slide job. Uncle Freddie gave him a shot in the shorts there on the front straightaway. Freddie slides up in front of the 91
over
of
the
Davis.
hill. Michael Fagan does a slide. Oh, and he's in the wall. Pretty heavy contact, too. Car got tore up bad. And some new ones showed up to try their luck for the back of an E-main. This 11 car is one of them.
Back and away, they go 3 wide for second.
Hey, we're going to go 3 wide for second.
Shaver.
Around goes Brian Shaver. E-mains are 10 laps. The C-mains are 12. No, excuse me. E-mains are 10 laps. The D-mains are 15. The C-mains are 18, and the B's will be 20. Good battle for that 4th and final transfer spot. As Shannon Parker has gotten around Boo Beckett. Beckett continuing to dig on the inside of the racetrack, though. He retakes 4th. And here comes Shaver back into the picture. So we got a 3-car battle now for the final transfer position. Shaver digging on the outside. Parker in the middle. Beckett down low. Parker has to check up. Here they come around with 4 to go, 5 to go. 5 to go. That white 0 car's in the 4th and final transfer spot. That's the one to keep an eye on. The race leader, but keep your eyes on the white 0 and the black 18. Battle for transfer between Boo Beckett and Shannon Parker.
Three wide, getting into 1 and 2. Beckett around the hub of the racetrack. Davis in the middle. Uncle Freddie way up top.
This has been the best racing right here for this transfer spot in this E-main. It's been awesome.
Yee! Off of 4, the next contact. Oh, Uncle Freddie's going to get turned, and Beckett got lucky that he did not get turned either. As that was within
Somebody
centimeters.
lost a wheel. I think that was the right front off the 18 car.
Oh, let's say, wow, that's 2 Blanchard cars this weekend that have lost their tire in a race. But won $5,000 at the Factory 50 earlier this year. And Frank the Tank, Frank Kenazero in the Victor Chassis Kennett Solutions number C1. Lights are out. Here we go. Grigsby gets a good start at the bottom of the racetrack, looking to drift up and close off the line from the 28 of Elwood. And he'll get that job done into turn number 3 and hold on to the race lead. Elwood way up top, though. A little bit of a push, upsets the 28 car. Grigsby leads lap 1. Around goes Kerry McDade. The no harm, no. Yeah, we should know he's a car.
Yeah, it's 17 now.
Yeah, look at that. Around goes Graham. Oh, and Jonathan Capps right at the wrong place at the wrong time. Never stopped, though. But looked like a pretty good bit of contact on the front end of that 5 machine. Tomorrow evening sometime, perhaps early Monday at the latest. Grigsby smashes the loud pedal. We are back underway. What's up, man? They're 1 by 2 by 2, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway is the 17X. And here comes 3-wheel Neil Kemp out of Kirby, Arkansas. Your factory stock 50 champion at Billy and Kim White's Timberlawn Speedway, which was promoted by Justin Whitehead this season. They go 3 wide for transfer here in the 1 and 2. Frank the Tank, Frank Canizero rolling the hub of the racetrack. And Jared Clark's old entry. Down the back straightaway, he has the 4 spot right now as he continues to roll the hub and roll it well. Off of 4. Still with the race leads the Marshall Missile out front in B1. Logan Elwood out of Marshall as well. The Marshall Mafia rises to the occasion. They're 1 and 2. 28 holds on to the bridesmaids. Steps the car out from underneath them a little bit. Neil Kemp in that Robert French Motorsports number 5F. As off of 4. It's going to be very, very close coming out of the line here. Joe Miller trying to take away the 4th and final transfer spot from the Kennett Solutions. C3 of Frank the Tank, Frank Canizero. Oh, and Frank's into the wall on the front straightaway. Just gave it up, and he drives it way down the hill. And his Cajun Classic may be done. He hit that wall pretty hard. And here comes Neil Kemp. Kemp's going to throw the slide job in the 3 and 4. Oh, Neil Kemp just lost it with the slider. Oh, my goodness. You go. And that was right back to what we were talking about, man. You're in the top 4,
Yeah.
just live to fight another.
You know, a lot of folks down here ain't never seen a White Castle.
I know, but you can imagine what it'd be like. I've seen Harold and Kumar, though, in the 1 and 2.
Maybe.
Here comes Knighton now. Neil Kemp's going to have to get up on the horse here, and he's only 1 spot out of making this show, Bill. It's heating up. He's already going back inside of the 5 of Cats for the 4th and final transfer spot. A pair of 5s going to have to duke it out for the 4th and final transfer spot here in Vivian, Louisiana, the 13th annual Cajun Classic E-Main number 5. The white flag away for the Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby. Grigsby for the final time in the 1 will try that low side of the racetrack. Joe Miller up to 2nd, the 28 of Elwood. Well, Neil Kemp's going to have to throw that fastball again. And here it comes. Watch it. Yep, here it comes.
Yeah.
Neil Kemp wants 2 for the price of 1. Oh, and Elwood being there killed his progress. He may could have slid up. Oh!
Caps. Hell
Oh,
of
baby.
Superman.
Oh, 3-wheel Neil going to miss it by half of a cat's whisker there, folks. That was as good as it gets for the final transfer spot. Neil Kemp had to...
Chevrolet of Matt Ryan. 34 car is Quentin Jackson. I don't see Quentin on the racetrack. Don't think he made it. Justin Carpenter didn't make it. We do have the 80 of Cody Futrell out there. And the 22 of Robert Graham Jr. with a new power plant, I think. You might want to keep your eye on the 22. Futrell immediately to the infield. His race didn't last long at all. Andrew Hartsoe up to the 4th and final transfer spot. Robert Graham Jr. on the move. Caution waves. Here this weekend. 8 cars, only 4 of them going to make it.
We got a car 4 out front, and best of the 4 so far this weekend has been Doug Vick Jr. Of course, he swept his night of action here for the 13th Annual Classic opening night last night. Pro Mod Heat Race winner and 2-time factory stock heat winner. As they go 3 wide for transfer here into turns 1 and 2. Pat Gay back there licking his chops in the number 2P, the orange lettered entry into turn number 3. Looking to run down Graham and TJ McCarty in the 35. And a little bit of slight contact there off of turn number 4 as they head back off into 1. They're still 3 wide. Pat Gay rolling around the hub of the racetrack now, and the 04 just jumped the cushion. If there is one up there. We continue on here.
Tyler Young's your leader. Gamma's second. Robert Graham Jr. in third. Kyle Wilkins in fourth right now. My 53 Chevy ain't going to make it. Unless something happens to these guys here in the last few laps. Tyler Young coming around. It'll be 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go this time by for Tyler Young. Gamma's closing in a little bit. It's the most spread out we've seen the cars in any of these E-mains. Oh, TJ McCarty's going for a slide off turn 2. He held on to it. Well, our leader's coming up on the Matt Ryan car. Look out there, Matt. You got company. Tyler Young puts a lap on the old Chevy there. As we're coming around to, look out there, second place. Gammas now has to negotiate. McCarty's sideways in the track, but he gets going. Checker coming out for Tyler Young. In your unofficial top 4 transfers, the 04 car, Kyle Wilkins, will move on to a D main, as will Robert Graham Jr. in the 22 car. Second, Jason Gammas in the 010, and first to the Tech Man. Car number 4, Tyler Young with the E main win. Factory stock D main number 1 rolling out now.
I believe just got about all of them as they roll the tow truck over the top of the hill, and it'll be up to Dustin Yacht to put the golden gun to work, and he'll fire off at turn number 4 with the pole position in 007. Into turn number 1 for the first time. It'll be McDonough McBride going to the way outside where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon way up top. Off of 2. Into 3. It'll be Donnie McBride, the former Amarillo Nationals champion. And look at Pilkington back here. Slight job for Pilkington. Oh, boy, and that didn't end up so well for the guys behind him. Cowboy Blanchard trying to slice and dice. He'll slide up in front of the nose of the 22B. A Baker under the 15 of Craig Oaks. 4 wide off the exit of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Look at the 15 of Craig Oaks roll to the front. The 45 and 15 coming. Quick, fast, in a hurry as well as Rollo in 22. Ryan Burke trying to get a piece of the pie. as they're down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Still with the race leads, the 18 out of Palestine, Texas, Donnie McBride Jr. Dustin Yon holds on to the comfortable second. That's Mike Marusak. And the Tom's Food Mart, number 45, sitting in third out of Venice, Texas. The F5, Askeet Amison. Ricky Sessions holds on to fifth. And here comes Rollo again. Rollo going to drive it down to the bottom of the racetrack here off the exit of 2, headed down the back straightaway. Mike Marusak wants more than third. He'll sniff the tail tank of the 007 of Dustin Yacht for the bridesmaids honors in this one. Off of 4 down the front straightaway. Here comes Cowboy Blanchard now. Blanchard off of 4, trying to the inside of the 15 of Craig Oaks. James Thompson in tow behind him in 85. Everybody kind of tiptoeing around the outside of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway right now, but folks, no fear, no worries. The track owner and promoter here, Gene Border, knows what he is doing with this racetrack. And it'll get better. Everybody seemingly electing to take the outside of the racetrack right now where they like it. Seems to be the quickest line, obviously, on the racetrack. But last night, when it seemed that was the place to be, we saw a lot of cars who made the bottom work. Fans for choosing Ark-La-Tex Speedway here for the 13th annual Cajun Classic as your official racing destination this weekend. The lights are going to go out and send them back to work. It's Donnie McBride Jr. who punches the time clock. Oh, contact here, mid-pack into 1. And they're 4 wide into turns 1 and 2. Cowboy Blanchard got to the inside of the 15 of Craig Oaks. He had nowhere to go, and they're all going to stack up. Oh, my. Look at this. They're still 4 wide. It's a log jam here, folks. Unbelievable. And getting the short end of the stick, the 7 of Ricky Sessions. And he says that won't be the end of my session, though. I'll keep this thing rolling right now because we may get another caution here and help me out. We still got 7 trips around the Ark-La-Tex Speedway tonight. And there's that caution that pays to the dividends. The top 10 do transfer. The top 10, folks, the top 10 transfer to one of the C's. The lights are out. We are back on our way. Donnie McBride on the loud pedal, leads them off into turns 1 and 2. Oh, Perkins has slid the 45 of Marusak. And it's an absolute log jam on back, folks. Great racing here up front inside of the top 6 right now. As they're 3 wide here mid-pack as well. Oh, one of the walls. Justin Burton, the 40. Right now, it looks like the 48 of Black Cat, Chris Franks, the 27 of Faulkner, and the 14 of Riddle all trying to battle it out for the 10th and final transfer spot. 14 of Riddle has it right now. Oh, and right in front, the 40 of Burt, and the 68 of James Martin gets the door ripped off of his entry. That'll bring out the caution. Jr. once again going to punch the time clock and send him back to work and put his foot and hands to work. With the race lead is 18M out of Palestine, Texas. Craig Oaks and the 22 of Pilkington have been coming. We'll see if they can hold on. And Cowboy Blanchard's coming as well. Here we go. And Rollo going to drive it down to the hub of the racetrack on the 22. Put some heat on it. Craig Oaks going to take second now. Here comes Blanchard. You can expect maybe a slider. No, he'll try to tuck back in top. This makes an ever so slight contact there with the 22 of Rollo. Justin Yacht in the 007 tucks in behind the 45 of Marusak. That's your top 6. 7th is Skeet Amison. 8th is Black Cat Chris Franks. 9th is Baker. And 10th is James Thompson. James Thompson in the 10th and final transfer spot. They go 3 wide for transfer. They were 3 wide there for the transfer spot momentarily as they head back off into turns 1 and 2, headed down the back straightaway. Thompson still there. 2 laps to go. This time by for Donnie McBride Jr. James Thompson still has the 10th and final transfer spot in 85 as they'll come across this time to the white flag. see if anything shakes of it. The 27 of Faulkner's got to get on the whip, get there quick, fast, and in a hurry if he wants to go A-main racing or at least C-main racing tonight. Ronald jumped the cushion on the final lap. Ronald Pilkington, an uncharacteristic mistake, is going to open up the door for the 27 of Dalton Faulkner to take the 10th and final transfer spot. Wow. That's a wild chain. That whole field without a lineup.
I studied last night. Well, actually, this morning it was, but whatever.
Here we go. You're still sharp as a knife.
Well, it's a good thing you helped me with those.
Maybe he'll throw a slight job on McEachin. He says, I'll do it.
Battle for transfers to 22 Emma Morgan and the B1 of Grigsby right now. Jonathan Stewart actually has a spot in 10th. Grigsby and Morgan 11th and 12th. It's going to be a long, it's got 12 laps to go. Long way to go in this one.
Heading back off into one, the 25 from Hot, Louisiana, the young gun, Bubba McEachern. He swept both of his heats here last year, won his first heat last night, had bad luck in the second one. Got the battle out of it either. 3 wide back there for transfer.
Oh boy. The edge goes Morgan, but he brings it back nicely.
That
and may even pick up at a spot right here. Tyler Morgan.
Oh boy.
Some wheeling in this Cajun Classic.
Lee Carver got shuffled out of that deal right there. He made a mistake of his own. And boy, look at this. They're getting racy back here for transfer once again. Grigsby trying to get in there. I believe he's in the 10th and final spot right now.
Yeah, Derek Grigsby has reached, if he can hold that, he'll move on to a C-main.
And you know what they always say, when you make it out of this one, the competition only gets tougher and tougher. It's going to be harder to advance, make your advances.
And now Morgan's up out of the groove. Look out, Tyler Morgan, he hit the wall hard. Tough break, he got up in the loose stuff and slid right into that wall car, got airborne. So heavy contact on the Tyler Morgan car. They're going to have to check. Getting phone calls. People are still asking, where you at? Because they're on the way. So y'all were smart. You got here first. It's a good crowd out there tonight, Zach. Here we go. Bubba McEachern, bring him around to the restart.
I want him to be elbow to elbow, get your neighbor kind of night. Back underway here off of 2. The 25 of Bubba McEachern still has the race lead in the cat bag for the moment.
No change to our top 5. Dustin Nations hung on the inside at the moment. Derek Grigsby has him pinned down. So they're side by side for 9th with the top 8 cars in line. Nation now, if he slides up, will be in that 10th spot. And here comes Carver to the inside of Davis in the battle for 11th.
Look out, Cortland Smith right in front of these transfers. Wow. Thought everybody may get through there unscathed, but it did not work out.
Look out, Scott. Scott Burson of Scott's Custom Art down there. But at light pole, he might have got an unexpected. But we're about to go green flag racing, I think, next time by. So here we go.
Bubba McEachern with the race lead. Smashes the loud pedal off before we're back underway. These race stars are just absolutely wild. That's when you got to get what you can get. And here comes Grigsby to the outside of the 47 of Wilhelm. He'll dispose of him and try to get around the C7 of Case. The Case kind of bottles him up just a little bit there. He'll go to the low side. Look out. Tyler Morgan just railroaded Derek Grigsby and took out his night. I mean, literally. Woo, boy. Before Tyler Morgan. Oh, boy, we got more. Bubba Bubba McEachern from Houghton, Louisiana. Going to send him back to work here. And a good little jump there by the 42 Lee Carver at the bottom of the racetrack. We're back on our way. And we got one around on the front straightaway. It's Kyle Wilkins. Wilkins with heavy hits there. It says they turned the light out and ready to go. Our own track officials better get off that racetrack because it's on them now. She means business, folks. We're back on our way. Into turns 1 and 2, off of 2. Look at Neil Kemp split the gap as he went 3 wide there. Off of turn 2 here into turn number 3. It's still Bubba McEachern out front. He's got the clean air, and he's exactly where he wants to be right now. Mighty Mike holding on to second. The 68 of Ark-La-Tex third. Case fourth. Neil Kemp up to fifth. Side-by-side battle for sixth. And seventh there's the 42 of Carver, the 22 of Graham. Eighth is Jason Gamas. Ninth is 17, X of Miller. And 10th and final transfer spot is Justin Gilcrease. Justin Gilcrease continues to hold on to that 10th and final transfer spot down the back straightaway in turn number 3.
The 3 Sport Class B.
McEachern leads the herd down the back straightaway. The 38 of Mighty Mike Wells still holds on to second. Not a whole lot going on inside of 10 right now. Beckett is going to have to get up on the wheel and get rolling. Beckett has got to go, and he's got to go now.
All right, coming around this time by, it should be the white flag for Bubba McEachern. Looking back to the 10th position, I believe it's the station wagon of Justin Gilcrease in that spot.
Waving in the turns 1 and 2. Bubba McEachern with the top spot.
So if Gilcrease can,
hands of the 25.
Gilcrease can hang on to what he's got, he'll be moving on to a C-main. Checkers in the air. McEachern, Wells, Ark-La-Tex, Case, Kemp, Carver, Graham, Gamas, Miller. And there is Gilcrease coming in unofficially in the 10th spot.
So here we go, race fans. The first A-main of the 13th annual Cajun Classic. Going to be the 4 cylinders. They'll get the race in front of a big crowd here tonight. Lights are out. We're underway.
Hey, Roy. How you doing, my friend?
They go side by side for the top spot. It'll be Atwood, and the caution's already out.
All right, 15 laps on the boards, and we're going feature racing with the 4 cylinders.
The 3 wide for second down the back straightaway in your 4-cylinder main event. The 12 and 13-year-old to the outside of Luke. Wait, Luke just slid right and they make contact. Luke did not give himself clearance. Logan Griffin, he may not like that too much, but the young man's going to try to stay cool, calm, collected as the caution's going to wait for Michelle Davis coming to a stop at the top of turn number 3.
So Clay Atwood is the leader, and that's going to put Logan Griffin and Connor Mewborn side by side in row 2 with 12 laps remaining, and we are back to racing here at Ark-La-Tex Speedway. Stephen Harris up to 4th. Got a good battle for 5th between Hansel here. They're 3 wide for the 5th spot. Tiffany Welch on the inside. Here comes Patrick Franks. And Franks is going to reach the top 5 as caution waves. Newborn and Griffin in the 2nd row. Now we have Franks and Harris in the 3rd row. Welch and Hazel in the 17 car. And Franks is going to move into 3rd. He's come from pretty far back in this one. We know he's got a good car. And here comes Connor Mewborn in the battle for the lead, trying to get under Atwood as they race down the front straightaway. And we got trouble.
Boy.
Tiffany Welch, Luke Wheat tying up on the front stretch. Last night was supposed to have been Patrick in the car, and now I'm thinking they switched back. I think Chris got in the car, and that's why they started from the back.
Well,
we'll know.
Patrick has his own 50, but maybe
you might be interviewing him in Victory Lane, and we'll see.
Well, it looks like it's going to come down to the car that the 36 of Muber did battle with the last race anyway. It may come down to them.
Oh, it was a great race between those two. Yeah, so far, let's not sell Clay Atwood short because he's been hanging tough up at the front of this one. Is that Tiffany Welch there in 4th? No, that's Danny Rambo, isn't it? Yeah, here comes Danny Rambo up to 4th.
Won at Armadillo, the Nationals last weekend.
Yes, he did.
With Morgan Powell a strong second, that young lady.
Here comes Morgan, by the way. She's up to 7th. Morgan 7th. Luke Wheat 6th. Griffin 5th. Nose to tail right now on our 4 cylinders.
Here comes 13-year-old Connor Mewburn. Muir pulls all the way to the tail tank of the 20, and it's going to be 1 lap to go this time by at the flag stand. Can the 13-year-old Connor Muir capitalize? Sorry, this time by it's 2 laps to go. My mistake. Atwood still holding on to the race lead. Final, or 1.5 laps to go now at the midpoint of the back straightaway. Atwood still continue to hold on. The charge lap traffic may become a factor here in the final turn as they head off into turn number 3. Muir going to try the low side of the racetrack. He'll possibly come up short. Atwood going to hold on and win it tonight.
I'm not sure how many races Clay Atwood has won. It could be his first one.
Either way, race fans, when he climbs out of this 4-cylinder machine, pretty big crowd these guys are racing in front of tonight. They don't typically get to be the very first feature of the night. Climbing out of DeBerry, Texas. Give him a round of applause for Clay Atwood in 20S tonight. Clay, I'm going to get you to meet me right about here. It's a little muddy over there. Man, you've raced some factory stock stuff in the past. It looks like you get back into the sport to have a little bit of fun, man. This looks like a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. My buddy Eric asked me to drive it. We were coming to the race anyway, so I just wheeled it. It was a lot of fun.
How many times have you driven one of these cars?
This is the first.
Very first, so it comes to a good liking for you.
Yeah, man, it's a fun class, and everybody in it's really nice. That Mewburn kid,
Yeah.
he is going to be something, I'm telling you.
It's pretty cool. He won the last race, 13 years old. I mean, I don't know how you'd feel about that. 13-year-old passed you there on the last lap. He gave it everything he had.
Hey, he was right there the whole time. The race will be clean. He's going to be a shoe for sure.
Anybody in particular you'd like to thank for getting you here tonight?
Man, Eric Strange, the Curve Automotive, and my brother and sister-in-law.
Any plans in the future for you to get back in a car?
Oh, yeah. I have a new bootlegger that's built. I got the WCH at the house. We're just got to put it all together.
Best of luck to you when you get it together, man. Good to see you here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Clay Atwood, your 4-cylinder winner tonight. I'm not going to take your trophy, though, bud. Here. So Anthony Boatman out of Winona, Texas, driving the Acme Motorsports number 83, going to set it from the pole with Paul Lopez out of Princeton, Louisiana. The lights go out. We're underway from Ark-La-Tex and C-Main number 1. Oh boy, they hit that moisture and the car just skated up the racetrack. Everybody looks like a three-legged dog on an icy lake right now. Done this alphabet soup game before, starting all the way from an E-main. The top 10 still transfer out of these into the B-mains. The top 10 still transfer. So the top 10 will transfer as they're side by side. They're 3 wide. Look out, a little bit of contact nearly there. The middle point of 4. And around goes Smooth Waters. Austin Waters saves it though. Bottles up the field behind him. Tough break for Woodruff. As Paul Lopez leads Boatman. Bruchin. Continuing on here. Looking at the top 10 to make it into the main event. Every position very valuable on the racetrack, obviously, to this point. As we say, the competition will get thicker and thicker. Lopez leads. The 83 of Boatman. The 30 of Bruchin. Fourth, it's Wells. Fifth, the 189 of Justin McNeil. And Richard Blanchard just got shuffled out of the deck there. Oh, and around goes 83 of Boatman, who was sitting in second. Princeton, Louisiana's Paul Lopez. Gonna lead him into 3 and smash his foot through the firewall. We are underway. And they're 3 wide for the 10th and final transfer spot here into 1 and 2. The 3 wide mid-pack. Austin Waters in the 10th and final transfer spot right now at 29.
One over the side, 2 over the side, and turn number 1. It's Scoot Waters back there in 9th. Or 8th rather. Skeet Amison is in your final transfer spot. He's in 10th. Here we go.
Justin McNeil and Boatman just
And there
lost
goes
the handle.
Boatman around. He got out of shape on his own and then got tapped after that. And that was all she wrote. There goes the bumper company. That's going to be
Bill, the man on the move here in this one, Bill. In that Oldsmobile Salon number 189. Of the
that's
Texas
a
Racing.
Pinto on steroids.
Got a good bite there to the inside. He'll try to take second. It looks like he'll have it. We'll see how long he can hold on. McNeil wants it all. That bottom side coming in well now. They got some dig down there into the hub of the racetrack. Lopez still continues to hold on to the top spot, use that outside line and that momentum underneath the hood to the advantage of him. Billy Joe Bruchin, who set quick time by about a second at Lone Star for the Armadillo Nationals last week, got his number 30 car rocking and rolling tonight, holding on to second. A lot of these guys inside of the top 10. Skeet Amundsen in the 10th and final spot right now. BJ Cook gave him a shot in the shorts there onto the front straightaway. It's about to heat all the way up here for transfer. BJ Cook tried to fit it to the outside. It may cost him. Oh, and the 189 of the Denton, Texas racer, Justin McNeil, is done. He just headed off the back straightaway. Heartbreak for that driver to the 189. So Justin McNeil was trying to make 2 straight Cajun Classic main events and unfortunately will not be able to do so tonight. It's a log jam for the 10th and final transfer spot. Faulkner to the 27, the F5 of Amundsen, the 43J of BJ Cook, and Tracy Baker, the 18Y of Scott Young, all right there to have a shot. And the caution waves once again.
27 looks like. Is that Amundsen back out there on the outside of the 27? That 5 get a spot back. Yeah, Skeet Amundsen's got his spot back there in 11, so he never stopped, I guess.
We relight the fire in the 3 wide back here for transfer.
I'm not sure who that is on the outside of McBride, but that's where your battle for transfer is. Where the 18 car is, that's James Thompson from out of the E feature.
Not a whole lot of give and take going to happen from this point on as they go 3 wide for the race lead into 1 and 2. Dustin Yacht's got that Golden Gun 007 working good tonight, just like he did last night. He says, I will stay committed down here. And it looks like it's going to work pretty well for this point off of 4. He'll continue to hold on to 3rd at the line. About a half a bumper over the 30. Billy Joe Bruchin. A little bit of a slip up there by the 5 of Lopez. That outside line going to prevail for him as the 15 of Craig Oak stalks his tire tracks here into turn number 3. Bruchin now going to try to the inside of the 15.
Look at this battle for transfer back here. 3 wide.
We got a 3 wide battle for the race lead, a 3 wide battle for the 10th and final transfer spot. Richard Blanchard, the 2 of Woodruff, the 85 of James Thompson, putting on a show back here, trying to advance. And it'll be 2 laps to go to settle the score. 2 more quarter-mile trips around Ark-La-Tex Speedway to find out if they can have a shot to go to the B main to continue on their Cajun Classic. And Anthony Boatman has been around more times in this race. He's probably been in this entire season. And he's facing the wrong direction again, and that'll draw the caution. Back underway here in Vivian, and Dustin Yacht wants more. He wants the lead. He may have the clearance to slide up on Lopez, but he will not get that clearance as Lopez just continues to fire. I'll tell you, Dustin's been able to work. He's working the bottom well, and it's a good sign, too. And that bottom's really coming in well. That moisture definitely playing a factor here. As it'll be the final trip down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It'll be 3-6. It looks like Thompson and the 2 of Woodruff going to battle it out for the 10th and final spot off of turn number 4. Who's it going to be? Woodruff on the outside. Thompson on the inside, and Woodruff got it. Wow. So Thomas Woodruff, ladies and gentlemen.
Death ball in the 78 car. 78 Junior to be exact. Has your pole. Here they come.
When the getting gets good and the going gets tough. See feature number 2 of the night. The top 10 once again for transfer.
Roy
Look
digging
at
on
this
the
log jam.
inside. Seth Ball on the outside.
Josh Landers has been good all weekend long. Keep your eyes on him around the hub of the racetrack in that black and lime green number 14 machine, the 14X. Off the 4. They're 4 wide off the corner down the front straightaway. Back into 1. Landers continues to stick it around the hub, and here comes McEachern. They're 4 wide still, Bill. Look at this.
I'm telling you, the Cajun Classic getting good on the back straightaway. Mike Wells making some moves at the top of the racetrack.
Jinx.
Brad Ball, Adam Roy, Little John Tuggle, TJ Evans, your top 4.
Seth Ball, right?
Yeah, Seth Ball. I said Brad, didn't I? And here comes Josh Landers in a battle for 5th. You have Abernathy, Landers, Mike Wells, and there goes Bubba. And also Lyles, Casey Lyles. It's like 2...
synchronized spins.
Yeah, but they didn't have anything to do with each other. Gang represented pretty good in this one. Abernathy up in the transfer spot in the top 5, as a matter of fact. Here we go.
We're backing away. Adam Roy swung out a little high wide there. And here comes TJ Evans around the hub, and he's going to throw the slide job on Little John Tuggle. And they'll go 3 wide off of 2 down the back straightaway. The racetrack is shaping up awfully nicely here. And the second C-main of the night for the factory stocks off of corner number 4, 78 of Seth Ball from Highlands, Texas, with that CB power underneath the hood still leads. Little John Tuggle trying to tuck up in behind the tail tank of the 215 of Evans as the Kilgore Texan tries to skate away from him in 3rd. Tuggle the 4th. 5th, it's Bad Chad Abernathy from Mount Ada, Arkansas. Landers 6th. 7th is the 38 of Mighty Mike Wells. Side-by-side battle for 8th and 9th. The 83 of Tucker from Cleveland, Texas. The 22 Robert Grant from Marshall, and the 10th and final transfer right now will be Scotty Hushelpeck. Hushelpeck into the 10th and final spot. And here comes Neil Kemp. Don't count out Neil Kemp from an E-main. Just give me a shot, he says. And a little bit of a slip up there. I'll tell you what is heating up for the transfer spot right now, Bill. That is undoubtedly the best battle on the racetrack for transfer. The 22 of Graham just got disposed of, maybe, at the line of 68 of Hushelpeck. Now the 22 is on the bubble.
Yeah, those 2 are actually are 9th and 10th at the moment. They keep swapping it around. And here comes Lee Carver now trying to move into 11th. Hips right beside Neil Kemp.
Look at Bubba McEachern battling back, man. He's trying to throw his hat into the ring here and become a factor here late in the going. He just got around Kemp. He's got Derek Lewis in tow.
9 laps to go. It means we're at halfway on our second C-main.
Plenty of time for the McEachern number 25.
Look at TJ Evans put the slide jump on Adam Roy, but he went a little too far.
Oh, you got to love it.
He got actually going to lose the spot to Little John Tuggle.
He tried.
You know, at this point, obviously every position counts, but man, where you line up in a B-main is going to be so very important. So that those positions right there, but 2nd and 3rd.
Lee Carver is knocking on the door literally as he knocked on the back bumper of Robert Graham Jr. Look out, Kilcrease is dead in the water right in front of our leaders.
You can actually say knocking on the back door like a trick or treat with a sweet tooth, because
it's
next week.
going to be close.
Oh, man, there went Robert Graham.
Robert Graham ended up in the infield tire.
Again, who we have not seen yet to this point. All your top qualifiers from last night's 2 heat races, but right now we're winding through these C's in the second one of the night. The lights are out. We're back on our way, ready to play. As they're going to go side by side. Look at TJ Evans slide up in front of the 8. for the second spot as they go down the back straightaway, door to door. Adam Roy, he says, I want a piece of it. I want a little bit more of it, TJ Evans. What else do you got for me? Down the front straightaway, Roy will hold the third. And then Hinton Motorsports, oh boy, and Derek Lewis. And the 25 of McEachern get together down the front straightaway. The caution is already.
Scotty Husselpeck is 8th. Calvin Tucker 9th. Lee Carver is on the bubble. And that is Vic Case to his outside. Here we go.
It's about to get wild. Vic Case got to throw his hat into the ring there back here for transfer, and they're 4 wide. 3 wide, most definitely here off of 2 for the 4th, 5th, 6th spots down the back straightaway. And Vic Case trying to go 3 wide. Oh, Mighty Mike over the rim, and 3 and 4 contact here with Graham and the 27 of Casey Lyles. And no caution. They keep strolling and rolling. May not be clean, but we're green. Down the back straightaway. Seth Ball, man, I tell you what. Not sure if it's that CB power or just the talent this young man was blessed with, but he is looking awfully impressive tonight. Holding off a former Cajun Classic champion to TJ Evans, who has 11 wins on the year.
Vic Case trying to hold off Jason Gamez and Joe Miller for the transfer spot. Now the blue 7 on the bubble, and they are side by side right in front of him. I think Carver just went around the outside of Tucker. So Calvin Tucker in danger of being on the bubble. Vic Case trying to pass him. Here comes Gamez.
If Gamez wants to get into the show or the 17X, they got to go, and they've got to go now. You got to find a way to get the job done if you want to go to the B main and have a chance to keep your Cajun Classic going. Oh, and Little John Tuggle just broke off the exit of 2. Oh, no, look out, Little John.
No.
Woo! Thank you, Lord. That could have been a lot worse. The seas parted in event. And Justin Whitehead, Scotty Husselpeck, Adam Roy, Brian Ebert, and Little John Tuggle were your top 5 that night. It was his 5th Cajun Classic to make in his career. So trying to get his 6th tonight. Oh, boy. Seth Ball leads them off the exit of 2, down the back straightaway. It'll be 1 lap to go this time by. One more trip around Gene Borders quarter-mile racetrack here in Vivian for the Cajun Classic. Look at Calvin Tucker. Just crowded the C7 of Case. I guess it's how bad do you want it. You better lean. You better do something. Oh, and the C7 of Case crossed right in front of the nose of the 45J at Gilcrease. And on the in-house to the outhouse is Case. And the checkers way for Seth Ball out of Highlands, Texas. 2nd for Evans. 3rd, Roy. 4th goes the... Gamez got it.
Gamez is 10th and Joe Miller 9th.
Jason Gamez gets the 10th and final transfer spot. Joe Miller, the 83 of Tucker. The 14X of Josh Landers from Mesquite, Texas will transfer. The 4 of Bad Chad Abernathy from Mount Ada, Arkansas. The 42 of Lee Carver from Locksburg, Arkansas transfer. The 68 of Scotty Husselpeck. The 8 of Adam Roy in the Hinton Motorsports entry. 2nd from Kilgore, TJ Evans, looking for his 12th winner of the year, worth $5,000 tonight. He's got 11 on the year. And your winner, 2nd generation racer in the CB Racing You powered, number 78 from Highlands, Texas. It'll be Seth Ball, your winner of C Feature, number 2.
Limited A feature. So it could be the hot laps for the feature for the B cars, maybe?
Yeah, Gene's dropping some moisture on the racetrack. Looks like the B feature cars. I thought I saw Cody. 7Fs is Cortland Smith, Aaron Green in 87, Keith Tidwell. And how about Troy Keith back behind the wheel here tonight in that number 11 car? Good to see Troy Keith back. The 91 is James Griffin, and we are underway from Ark-La-Tex Speedway and try number 2. The limited modified main event into 1 and 2. Ingalls around the hub. Grigsby shoots out of a rifle into turn number 3. The missile from Marshall looking to lit that outside line. 8 for him. He'll lead lap number 1 in 69. Job of the JT Auto Sales. Marshall Lubinato. Oh, Williams gets turned right in front of the field. Ingalls got into his left rear just ever so slightly and collects Colby Williams.
Just watched his son win a C-Main there in the factory stocks. Is in the top 5. Here comes Boone Evans.
Grigsby back on it in 69. 69 reasons out front. And that IRP chassis. One scraping a wall down the front straightaway, but we stay green. as Aaron Roy, who scored his first ever win at Boot Hill this year, and Kyle Ingles together there at the top of the racetrack with a 78 of Brad Ball. And Ingles is slow, and we will get caution again.
Why everybody thinks they're right?
The connection there. Grigsby on the loud pedal, backing away. Jason Ingles, his chassis builder, in tow. Aaron Roy coming off strong. IRP, 1, 2, 3.
Aaron Green loops to the 87 car around.
Was getting ready to challenge Jonathan Davenport for the lead. Greg Satterley slows, so 100 laps for 100,000 win. I'll let you guys know what happens as Grigsby back on it. Here we go. Headed down the back straightaway into turn number 3, Derek Grigsby, trying to make his way back to BFCU.org victory lane tonight. Hasn't raced here a whole lot this season, but he's got that IRP chassis. Number 69 strolling and rolling around the racetrack, looking good tonight. Jason Ingles not even able to do anything with maybe one of his better drivers in the IRP stable. And that's saying a lot. There's a lot of good shoes in this IRP stable. As IRP right now, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the racetrack. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Actually, top 5 is Boone Evans in 5th now. Looks like the car Brad Ball's in is a former Tracy Denby car, maybe. James Griffin driving Craig Oaks number 91. That car's won at the Boot Hill Speedway this season. He's back there in 7th. So Grigsby tiptoeing around the outside of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway, making it look good and look well tonight. Not challenged to this point, as it'll be 11 laps to go this time by at the flag stand. 69 Reasons out front. And the JCD Auto Sales, Marshall Lubinato. RaceOnTexas.com, number 69. Jason Ingles just not able to get off the exit. He's been running to the bottom down in 1 and 2. Let's take the tie side here in 3 and 4. But Ingles not running the hub all the way around the racetrack. He still goes back to the top here in the 1 and 2s. Cortland Smith is slow and headed down to the pit area down the back straightaway. He may not get there though. 7S limping slowly, and he may come to a stop, and he will. Cortland Smith, and the caution will wave. So right now, 25 on the books at the Dirt Track World Championship. Davenport has a commanding lead over Jimmy Owens right now through lap traffic. Grigsby on it. Here we go. And Ingles throws a fastball there to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Grigsby says, I've thrown a lot of them in my career, and I don't think he's going to get off that top shelf. 69 is rolling tonight. Aaron Roy wants a piece of 12 now. He'll step to the inside of his chassis builder as well. Rapid Roy out of Red Lick, Texas. Aaron Roy, who's had another stellar season here in the 2017 campaign. A huge season in 2016, but he went on his tear, got his first ever win at the Boot Hill Speedway in Greenwood, Louisiana earlier this season. And has seemingly been outstanding everywhere he checks in to do battle. As they're headed down the front boulevard back into 1 and 2, Grigsby just stretching his lead out again. Rolling like a yo-yo with no string out front. It'll be 3 laps to go. It's next time by.
we got a spinner right here off 4, right in front of our race leader. Roy.
We play no games here.
And Ball, your top 5.
Two laps to go for Derek Grigsby. 1.5 laps to go, and Grigsby meets the midpoint of the back straightaway this time. 69. Comfortably again out front, stretching it out. Off of 4, he'll get the white flag this time by. Final trip into 1 and 2. Grigsby looking for his 3rd win here this season.
And the
Yellow
next
back
flag we see should be the checkered flag.
John the Marshall Luminato. RaceOnTexas.com.
Grigsby.
69. The Marshall Missile wins your limited modified main event tonight.
That Ball out of Highlands, Texas, the 78 car, I believe, gets the 5th position. Boone Evans there, car 4 junior. Finishes in 4th. I believe it was Aaron Roy 3rd, car 35. Jason Ingalls gets 2nd in 12 car. And Zach's got our winner downstairs.
Jonathan McLeod towing JCT Auto Sales IRP number 69. Getting ready to climb out of the car. Getting the belts off. No stranger to victory lane here in Vivian, Louisiana. It's the Marshall Missile Derek Grigsby in Barksdale Federal Credit Union victory lane. Well, Derek, I know you came here to win both classes tonight like you did back at the King of the Hill a few months ago at the Hill. Man, I'll tell you had a bad, fast factory stock. Guess we can talk about that in a moment. Man, how about this IRP tonight? You know, it's not too often you stretch it out on your chassis builder, Jason Ingalls. Man, this thing was a rocket ship.
Yeah, I don't know where they were at. I could have swore I heard Jason right behind me the whole race. The thing was fast tonight. Preferred line was on the top. That's where we started. Kept the momentum up, and like I said, this thing was a rocket tonight.
As long as you've been doing this, though, sometimes it's tough to kind of get in your zone whenever you have a few cautions like that kind of plague the race.
Yeah, it definitely messes with your rhythm and timing. Once you get a couple laps down, you know where your marks are and all that stuff, and you got to start all over every time we have a yellow. But so does everybody else. So.
Are you satisfied leaving here tonight? I know Joel fielded you another good car. That B1 was really rolling. You were up to 7th, trying to transfer to move on in the show, playing that alphabet suit game tonight, and it caught some misfortune there. You leave here pretty satisfied, though? You're able to come out here with the 69?
I mean, we're satisfied, but like you said, we came to win the 5,000, and we had a tough first heat and put us behind, and it's just one of them deals. Everybody's out there. Everybody's jumping restarts on the C's and B's, and they're going for one lane, and you can't blame anybody. Everybody wants to win the 5,000 just as much as I do. Well, maybe not as much as I do. But I don't blame them. We're out here racing, we're wheel hopping, tire slamming. It's part of it. That's part of it.
At the Hill, though, I don't think why anybody here probably counts you out, because you faced some adversity at the King of the Hill. You were able to bounce back and kind of win that deal. I know you don't ever count yourself out in these deals. And while we're at it, I want to give you an opportunity to thank everybody who helps you out in your race car as well, Derek.
I got to, like I said, thank IRP, Jason Ingalls for building these race cars. JCT Auto Sales helping me all year. I can't thank those guys enough. RaceOnTexas.com, PTS, McLeod's Towing, Superior Graphics. I know I'm gonna forget somebody. It's been a while since I've been over here in Victory Lane. I want to thank all y'all for coming out. We appreciate y'all supporting us.
Now that you're out of the race, I know it may be tough for you to admit this, but who you got to win the Cajun Classic now that you're kind of out of it?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Chris Hennigan. You can't put that guy on the front row in anything over here and expect him not to win. So that'll be my bet.
He wants the Marshall Mafia suite, folks. Congratulations, Derek.
Thank y'all.
The Marshall Missile Derek Grigsby gets the limited modified win tonight here at Ark-La-Tex.
Cowboy Blanchard in the 45. Dalton Faulkner back there in the back row. 27.
Two Cajun Classic former winners on the front row in this one. And Hennigan's undefeated so far on the weekend. Doug Vick Jr. Doug Vick Jr. is as good as he's been all year long. Hennigan using that Chris Hennigan line. Is Doug Vick Jr. going to prevail for the race lead down the back straightaway in the 4 car? Hennigan going to stay committed there, but he'll try the middle now as Bo Perry is rolled to second. Bo Perry to second. That outside line, still the place to be right now is Trace Smitherman in the Jambo Barbecue Pits. Outlaw powder coating number 96 Smacker chassis.
Something different on the bottom of the bridge. Use that white band. You see that? Bill was going to run you over with that new thing. Ready to go.
Here comes Bo Perry, the pair of Louisiana racers, 1 and 2 right now down the back straightaway. Bo Perry's been great all weekend long. I'll tell you what, any of these guys in this particular race, you could say they've been pretty great as the cream has risen to the top and trying to find the best 10 that you could find to go to the main event tonight.
Craig Oakes trying to take that 10th and final transfer spot away from Dustin Young as they race into turn 3. 15 car on the inside at 007.
Says you're going to have to pry it away from me, Dustin says. He's had a great car all week. As Sean Graham up in front of him in the 9th spot. Tim Brown 8th. And how about the run we were talking about last night for Ashton, Arkansas's Michael Shurtleff? In 7th, 6th is Ingalls in 81. And how about Slick Rick, who has not raced, I don't think, all year long in the 55, sits in 5th. And how all of a sudden, Trace Smith all over the back of the War Wagon, the L100 Tommy Mercer Motorsports Outlaw chassis that Chris Hennig is behind the wheel of. As Perry is all over the back bumper of the 4, Vic Jr. for the race lead. Vic Jr.'s got a little bit of a push there, and it may open up the door for Bo Perry to strike.
Top 6 have broken away. Dustin Young's got Craig Oakes on his back bumper, though. That's the battle for transfer.
Smitherman gave Hennigan a shot there off the last time off the exit of 2. Here comes Bo Perry for the race lead. Oh, goodness gracious, we got a violent flip down the front straightaway. That's Sean Graham. Sean Graham violently over on the front straightaway in the 17 car. And the 007 of Yount ramped the tire that came off the 17. We're going to get Sean Graham checked out.
Whew. Goodness gracious. I sure. Well, in the B2, he gained a couple of spots. He'll be in the A. He'll run them all.
Doug Vick Jr. trying to make his 11th Cajun Classic title. The lights are out. We're back underway. And Hennigan threw it down to the inside of Vic, but Vic powers down the back straightaway. Bo Perry very strong tonight. Hennigan rolling that Chris Hennigan line at the bottom of 4 to the inside of Bo Perry now for second. And the call laser chassis number 24. And would again Chris Hennigan never count him out. He's rolling that hub of the racetrack and still able to hold on the 3rd. Ricky Burke Jr. in 4th and Trace with him in 5th. The lights out. We're backing away. Oh. BJ Cook get some contact there. Hennigan just throws the car deep there off the exit of 2. Chris Hennigan rolling around the bottom of the racetrack now and making it look well. And on the front straight, here comes Hennigan. Well, that bottom was working good there for Chris for quite a couple of laps there. Now here comes Slick now to the back bumper of him in the 1, and Chris will dive back to the bottom of the racetrack. Low line is the quickest way around the racetrack at times. Chris is going to stay committed to it. Ricky Burke Jr. showing him some respect there. But no, well, just as I say that, he gave him a little shot in the tail tank there in turn number 1. And Bo Perry about to make a pass maybe for the race lead. Doug Vick Jr. slams the door shut and says, "Get out of my house." Bo Perry.
$500 minimum. Take your shot at $5,000 if you like.
Vic Jr. still leads as he gets them back ready to go on the restart. Some contact there mid-pack. Here comes Dustin Yount trying to steal that, and they're 4 wide into turns 1 and 2. Ricky Burke Jr. just got shuffled out a little bit. He lost 1 spot to the 96 of Smitham, and they've traded spots twice in this race as they're 3 wide behind Slick. Back down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Here comes Tim Brown now. Ricky Ingalls. Best battle there, door to door with the 15 of Craig Oaks. Oh, and he got into Craig just a little bit there. And yeah, he did. I was just about to say that there, Bill. And around goes Beckett again.
And Ricky Ingalls is going to maybe got the worst of that because I think he's got a flat. So we're going to go yellow.
Doug Vick Jr. still continues to lead with 4 to go. Car 4 leads. We're back underway. Good restart for Chris Hennigan. A great restart for Hennigan. This is when he wants to slide up and maybe clear the 4 of Vic Jr. He will not do so. Can he clear Perry? No. As the 55 has gotten back around the 96 of Smitham, and they swip up now 3 times for 4th and 5th. What a run for Bo Perry tonight. Still have not counted out any of these guys here inside of this top 4 or 5 to perhaps win this race, but 2 to go sign will be coming out this time by from Flagman Kenny Crawford. 2 to go.
Michael Shirtliff on the bubble. They're all ganged up behind him. The 24 car in the 10th and final transfer spot. Can he hang on? Ricky Burke's throwing slide job. Ricky Ingalls is throwing slide jobs back there.
The caution is out, and that helps out those guys.
Green-white checker got debris down here in turn 1. I can see it.
That's going to pay dividends for Blanchard, the 007 of Yount, and the 81 of Ingalls to try to take a stab at the 24 of Michael Shirtliff for that final transfer spot for a green-white checkered restart.
I think that puts Paul Lopez to his outside. That's going to be an advantage. Paul Lopez trying to make the Cajun Classic. He did the alphabet soup thing one year. And that old silver car was so wadded up and everything. And I think it was a Caprice.
Wasn't the prettiest car ever.
No,
He'd tell you that too.
I'll tell you what. But that thing put on a show that year at the Cajun Classic. Yep, Paul Lopez goes.
Billy Joe Bruchin.
Oh, they sent both guys to the tail. That's what it was. So Tim Brown and Billy Joe Bruchin. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Lordy mercy.
Blanchard's in the show.
Some of them got a run and start on that run.
I think Blanchard's in the 10th and final spot. Hennigan drives it back down deep into the corner. Slides up the race. They're 3 wide for transfer.
Smitherman's going to cover that spot if he ain't careful. He is.
Look at this battle for transfer coming down to the wire. They're 3 wide for it off of corner number 4 down the front straightaway. Vic Jr. leads. Look at Richard Blanchard.
Ricky Ingalls is the one going for it right now in that 81 car. He's got the position.
3.
He's in the preferred lane.
He's in 9.
Dustin Yount.
Yount's going to get the 10th and final spot. And Shirtliff. Wow. 42, Bad Chad Abernathy from Mount Ida, Arkansas in 4. Josh Landers from Mesquite in 14. Calvin Tucker. And the lights are going to go out. It's going to be Jason Ingalls that punched the time clock. He'll send him to work off of 4 with his foot through the floorboard. It'll be Ingalls and Whitehead, who ran 1 and 2 in the main event last year for the majority of that one, before Craig Oaks came up there and stole second. And Ingalls going to slide up in front of the 36J for the race lead. But here comes Whitehead. He'll turn down the hill. Here comes the slider from Whitehead. Whitehead going to slide it in deep, and a slide job for the race lead. Ingalls checks the throttle and drives underneath, but it's not enough. The 6-time Cajun Classic winner, and Ingalls going to return the favor and drive it back deep into 1 and 2 to the inside of 36J. 36J up to the challenge, and here comes Heisenberg. Walter White ready to break bad here at Ark-La-Tex. He's up to 2nd. Hamilton up to 2nd now. Ingalls will go back to 3rd. D-Rock's in 4th. Brooks Drinks 5th in 444. Side by side here for the 6th spot with the 23 of Mark Simon and Jason Gore out of Belton, Texas. Lockie, Evans, and Furr in the race right now. Rasco, one spot out looking in, but still 17 more laps to settle the score. And your second B-Mate of the night here for the 13th Annual Cajun Classic. It's all six-time Cajun Classic winner Justin Whitehead. It may very well come down to the front row being tonight the two most consistent drivers in the history of the Cajun Classic. Both trying to make their 11th Cajun Classic main events tonight that start on the front row, but Walter Hamilton has a different plan. So right now, Ingalls sitting right in the same spot the teammate on the weekend, Chris Hennigan, finished in, and that first B main event. So they're looking to start side by side if it holds serve from where it's at right now on the racetrack. As Walter Hamilton, though, he is not letting 36J out of his crosshairs. If he can stay there, you can expect him to at least try it. If he knows how far of a distance he has of third place. I mean, they are running away from Jason Ingalls, and Ingalls is running away from Derek Daniel in strength. Brooks Strink trying to get around the D28 of Derek Daniel. Oh, look out. They'll make a little bit of slight contact there in the 1 and 2. Strink going to try to get the best of the D28 and go by, but Derek Daniel, just like Ryan Burke said, he's the hardest guy to pass. Look at him stay on the throttle and say, you're not going to. Well, he didn't hold him back that time. He tried. Derek tried to hold him off. Nonetheless, he's had a great run this weekend, and he's still in the show right now.
Tell you what, Scotty Husselpeck has his hands full with Adam Roy at the moment. He's the 10th and final transfer spot, car number 68.
Ninth is Lockie. Dean Rasco trying to run down this battle for transfer with Adam Roy and Scotty Husselpeck. Adam Roy all over him. The 2014 Cajun Classic winner, Adam Roy. Has a third place finish in this race in 2015 as well. Walter shot to get into the main event tonight.
Walter, 1W just got in the wall on the front stretch.
Oh, and he's going to limp it. No way. And D-Rock just went over the 1 and 2. Is there something down there, Slick?
Can't restart. Mark Simon up to the 4th position, but he's got to restart on the inside, so that's always tough right now when he's with these kind of conditions at the moment.
Wow. Oh, Jason Ingalls. Brooks Strink did not give him room on that restart. It's going to stack them up. You got a Walmart and a Target parking lot down there for a brief moment.
Yeah, it's hard to get used to them in just one race.
They can groove them up there.
Dean Rasco is on the bubble in 10th spot, and he's got
oh boy, Kelly Lockie just either got turned, hard to tell from my
Abernathy. Jason Ingalls takes up the rear of the field with 7 laps to go.
Brooks Strink hasn't had a chance to really clear anyone to see if he has anything for 36J. We'll see what he's got now. As Derek Daniel, though, got to go to restart. Daniel is going to clear from that low line. And, well, Derek may have a flat tire. By the way, the car just stepped all the way out from underneath him. Tough break for Derek Daniel, man. Goodness gracious. Derek Daniel's Cajun Classic is done. Right there in the mix. But that hurt Brooks Strink's momentum on the restart. Now it's allowed 36J to stretch his lead out by about 6 car lengths here in 36J. Justin Whitehead's car just so stuck. Car never upsets. But he's had everybody's number in Vivian. I mean, I guess in this particular race, but at this track this season as well. He's got 7 wins here. He's nearly won every single factory stock main event here this year. It's tough to beat. But hey, for the big money and all the Tostitos and the burritos is on the line next, so. Two and a half laps to go for Whitehead down the back straightaway. Joe Miller's in the 10th and final transfer spot right now. Jason Game is trying to make a charge of it. Next time by, it'll be the white flag coming out for the Hooks Texan and the 6-time Cajun Classic winner, who will join Doug Vick Jr. on the front row if he can hold on for one more lap. Dean Rasco. Well, I tell you what, Lee Carver nearly got under the wall there, slowed up a bit and allowed Josh Landers to get a run. And the 17. Final time off for 4. The 6-time Cajun Classic winner receives the checkered flag. He'll go his 11th career A-main. Oh my goodness gracious. Lee Carver gives up the biggest costly mistake of his racing season in turn number 3.
Can't believe I just saw that.
Did that put Jason Games in the show?
It sure did. Who's going to be our Cajun Classic champion? Right now, Doug Vick and Mike Jordan are going to start this Pro Mod feature off, and here we go.
That was on the loose while I did that music.
We are racing Doug Vick Jr. and Mike Jordan. Vick's got the lead. Jordan in the second. Here comes Ronnie Long on the inside of the racetrack. Coming around to complete lap number 1. Got ahead.
Losing the championship. Yep. So it's going to come down to McCready and Richards here. We'll find out.
Louisiana Saturday night, where you get down the fiddle and you get down the bone.
Randy, darling, excuse me. Excuse me, Richard Holt. Richard Holt running in the top 5. Ronnie Long and Richard Holt side-by-side battle for 5th. Good race. Oh! Hold on to it there, Ronnie Long. Ronnie Long's taking his to the pits, or is he just trying to get the handle?
Doug Vick Jr. trying to do what he did a couple of months ago at Timberline of the Texas State Championship and win both Pro Mod and the factory stock main events on the same night. This time would be for a much larger chunk of change. It was worth $4,000 to him for the Texas State Championships. And if Vic Jr. is able to hold on, I'm not sure how many of his secrets he'd give away in a post-race interview.
No, that's
maybe the only one that
not a very high
name.
percentage.
Right.
Yeah, right. Maybe the only one makes the A. I don't know.
He said after a win at Boot Hill that it actually, having Stormy ride shotgun actually helps his race car handle and get through the corners a little better. Obviously sets his car up around that, the way it rolls over, but she ain't but about 100 pounds anyway. Pretty cool relationship though. You get to be an onlooker and watch your man win the race, and then you get to go hop shotgun with him and ride with him for the biggest race of the night. That's a heavy dose there. Richard Holt just nearly lost the handle completely. He saved it though. Great save by Richard Holt. And around goes Mark Barnes as well.
Oh, come on, Mark. We're still green, 9 to go.
Doug Vick Jr. with about a 7-8 car length lead over Josh Bauckham from Benton, Louisiana. Bauckham, most recent Pro Mod main event winner here. Richard Holt still holding on to third. For this Trent Humphrey. Oh, in the bottom of fifth right there. The car 5 of Michael Jordan got some assistance from the car rolling through the infield as we stay green.
Brad Barnes in the 57.
He never lost a spot, Bill. Brad Barnes in the 57.
Mike Jordan lost a few, though. Vic about to catch lap traffic. That may give Josh Bauckham a shot at him here with 4 laps to go. Richard Holt's a little sideways. Yeah, you saw it. Yep.
He has been very sideways this whole race, and the car finally completely stepped out on him. It happened to him 3 times in this race, was been able to save it, but not now. And looks like he may pull his entry down to the infield.
Vic having trouble getting around Randy Darlin. They're coming around for 2 to go this time. He finally does clear him.
His advantage over Bauckham, though, sizable enough that he could give a little mistake or two here. Doug Vick Jr. wins another one here in Vivian.
I'm in the 4th position. In 3rd, Trent Humphrey, the 515 car. Got a little sheet metal damage, but he's intact. Finishing 2nd will be the 25 car, Josh Bauckham. And Zach Clark's with one of our stars of the evening so far. He's going to have a victory lane interview for you here in just a second.
Race fans, this driver right here has been perfect so far this weekend. Every race he's competed in, he has come up victorious. 4 wins for car 4 to this point. He's got the biggest one coming up. Give it up for the 5-time track champion, Doug Vick Jr. from Vivian, Louisiana. Doug, I'll let you take a look there. What's going on with the car here?
Something's breaking in the rear end. I'm not sure what. It's been getting worse every week. And a minute ago, I thought it was about to let go.
Good thing it held on.
Yeah, I'm glad it did. Maybe it can make next week if I can't figure it out this week.
Man, I told the race fans earlier this year you won $4 grand total over at the Timberline Speedway. You swept the Texas State Championship, $3 grand of the factory stock. You've won this race before, the Cajun Classic in 2011, becoming the first Cajun to do that. You've been so good this weekend, Doug. And like I said, no pressure. Before you climb out of the car, I said, I don't want to put any pressure on you this interview. Obviously, what's coming up next, man? You've won every race so far this weekend. I want to ask you, can you get it done? Because I think we all know you can. But how do you feel about your car and everything going forward from here?
I feel a little better now. We lost all brakes in the B feature on the first lap, and they came back. We'd have a caution. They worked for about a lap, and they're down there working on it now. I think they got it fixed, so it ought to be a little better than it was in the B, at least drivable.
How much does this particular race mean to you, being their home racetrack and just having the success that you've had so far this weekend? I mean, you couldn't really dream it up any better to this point.
This is my favorite race of the year, and we look forward to this one every year. Last year we had no luck, so I'm glad this year it's turning around.
Were you worried about the way that one was going to start earlier, or did you feel pretty confident from the front row? I mean, you got hit against some pretty good shoes around here.
I figured he would get me to turn one, but somehow we held on there and got ahead of him.
Factory stock's pretty awesome, man. I want to give you an opportunity. This hot rod right here has been awesome as well. I want to give you an opportunity to thank that everyone that helps you out in the race car, just in case you don't get back here.
I gotta thank my dad, my brother Wayne, Stormy, Joe, Big Show, Chad, Casey, Hank, Cameron. We have a lot of help. Stormy helped on it a little bit this week, and I gotta thank Harold's Transmissions. I've been leaving him out all year, and I don't want to miss him tonight.
Don't know if you have the answer. This is the $1 million question. We get the good bosses work the track just a little bit, and I think you need to cool off before you go hop in that factory stock. But what's it going to take to beat 36J? Is there a definitive answer to that?
I think getting to the lead first and not messing up.
Awesome run tonight, Doug. Best of luck in the main event.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, from Vivian. It's Doug Vick Jr. trying to win his second Cajun Classic tonight and sweep the weekend. Louisiana and Justin Whitehead. We were going to try to get there, Bill, but we didn't have time.
Thought we do a four-wide salute and all that kind of stuff, right? Bo Perry, Jason Gore, Chris Hennigan, Mark Simon. Who's going to get her done?
And the 13th annual Cajun Classic is underway. 50 laps of distance, $5,000 hangs in the balance. And Hennigan's already going to take the low line to go side by side with the race lead. Doug Vick Jr., Whitehead side by side. Bo Perry in the 24 in tow. The 7 of Jason Gore. This is going to be a race. They're trying to go 3 and maybe 4 wide for the race lead momentarily there. It looks like Gore just chopped the advantage of the 100 to Chris Hennigan. They are 4 wide for second. Well, that's exciting. And hopefully it stays this way. Gore's digging around the hub of the racetrack. He's already got around the 100 disposed to Hennigan. Vic Jr.'s the 3rd. And how about Bo Perry? I mean, I don't think he's went backwards in any race. He just gave Whitehead a shot in the shorts there, Bill.
Perry's had a fast car all weekend.
Man. I mean, if a guy like Bo Perry could climb out of this deal in Victory Lane, could be an earthquake here in Vivian, Louisiana tonight. As the 6-time Cajun Classic winner, Justin Whitehead uses that outside line. His advantage on the second round goes Smitherman.
Trey Smitherman.
Ironically, he's in a smacker chassis, but it is not. Josh Landers out of Mesquite there in the 14X.
Jason Gamez in the 010.
And the lights
Here
are
we
back
go.
out.
Now we got most of them, I think.
And how many people picked 36J to be the favorite to come into this weekend? And here he is living up to the bill, and he's out front. But I tell you what, Jason Gore says, I like to be the fly in the ointment. Here comes Craig Oaks already. Just mentioned him 16th to 2nd last year, and he's already thrown his hat into the ring, and he's already a player. And there's only 5 laps scored. Bo Perry faded to 3rd on that restart there, Bill. Vic Jr. got the best of him and the 4 car. The 2 all-time, and around goes Ingles at the bottom of the exit at corner number 2 and 81. He'll stay on the throttle, though, and keeps it rolling for the time being, and he elects to stay out. Green flag continues to wave. Hennigan back to 5th now on the 100. So Whitehead continues the lead off of corner number 4, looking for his 18th win of the 2017 season here tonight, and his 7th unprecedented Cajun Classic title. And if he could do it, obviously it'd be his first time to ever win this race back to back to back. Whitehead is kind of stretching it out here. Interestingly enough, when Bo Perry was in 2nd, he was kind of all over 36J there. Vic Jr. mentioned that his brakes were a problem earlier. They were actually working on it when he was in his victory lane interview, assuming they may have got done prior to that, but they only had a 20-lap race to obviously fix that between the time he climbed out in the B main to get in the Pro Mod. So you never know. I mean, you never can be too sure. And I mean, does his car handle the way he likes it to right now? Or and now we got trouble. Oaks is around. He never came to a complete stop.
If Faulkner don't stop, he was up there in the top, and for his second Cajun Classic title. And Faulkner got his spot back. They didn't charge him with the caution. They say was evasive only. So hey,
look at Craig.
Whoa! Did he get a jump?
Yeah, boy. I'll get 4 for the price of 1. Thank you for the Target, Walmart, and Eckerd special all into 1. Into 1 and 2. Jason Gore rolls the hub, and here comes Bo Perry back to the outside of the 4 car. He's back to second. During that shorter green flag run we just had, I wouldn't call it a long, a green flag run, but it was about 4 laps anyway. Whitehead stretched it out by about 5 car lengths on Vic Jr. Let's see what Bo Perry has to do if he can pull back to the back bumper to the 36J here, as he's got ahead of the 4 Vic Jr. Hennigan back to 4th now. Evans in 5th. Each of these drivers have at least won a race at some point this season in some kind of class. Hennigan has not, to my knowledge, driven a factory stock all year long. Maybe he drove one for the King. I'm trying to remember right now. And Jason Gore's done and off the pace. Tough break for him.
Oh, bad break. Yeah, top 5 car out of the event right there.
I think he may have had a winning car. He's a... As Mark Simon, after your top 5 here, which ends with Evans, you got about not a whole half a straightaway advantage between Mark Simon as the 55 of Ricky Burke Jr. is on him there. It's kind of the second half of that lead pack here.
And there goes Scotty Hushelpeck out of the event.
Hushelpeck's already won a $5,000 to win this year, but I promise you that's not the reason why he expired that 68. He said, I've had enough. I've already won one this year. Tough break for Scotty. As Whitehead continues to lead the car, just so good right now. And I'll tell you what, Bill, the way Vic Jr. just threw his car off into the corner, I don't know that he has brakes. I mean, literally, I don't think he does by the way the car just kind of rolled that time, but can't say for sure, obviously. So, just like Justin Whitehead did to Vic Jr. during that short green flag run, like I mentioned a few moments ago, he's able to distance himself as well from Bossier City, Louisiana's Bo Perry in the 24 car. But man, Bo Perry right now is looking for one of the biggest breakout runs in his entire career. I mean, a second of the Cajun Classic, but
Ricky Burke Jr. is getting a run for that 6th spot as he's on the inside of Mark Simon now, battling through turn 4, the 55 down low, the 23 up high. I think Ricky Burke Jr.'s got a real good race car right now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if he can make this statement side by side for a better part of a lap. Just like that, door to door. Still side by side. Ricky Burke Jr. will take this position away. Nice pass right there. File that one away in your memory books because we might see it again.
There's about to be a little bit of shake and bake with he and father-in-law. Maybe they formed a plan here, a little shake and bake action. Dean Rasco having a stellar run here for the Cajun Classic.
Now Dean's trying to see, can I do the same thing my son-in-law just did? Make the same move on Mark Simon.
Ricky Burke Jr. has been one of the more consistent drivers in the history. Back in 2014 when he was racing beginners.
Yeah, won the Marty and Joe's Cup.
And every time he's on the track, he's making laps for his father, who he unfortunately lost to cancer. A good restart for Perry to slide up in front and block off the advances of the 4 Vic Jr. as they hammer him off into 1. Chris Hennigan, I haven't seen him any time tonight if any race he's in, not at least try that bottom on the restart. He dives it to the bottom every single time. He said, I'll taste it and I'll see what I like down here. He's just hoping one time he gets down there and it sticks. Nonetheless, a stellar performance for Chris Hennigan, who made his 6th Cajun Classic A main event in the history of this race. And he's not raced it but 8 times in his career. And Oaks, and it looks like the 17X there. Eyes on him going forward in the future.
All right, Justin Whitehead leading them around for the restart. Still got Perry and Vic, the 2 red cars in row 2, Chris Hennigan. And TJ Evans having a great night in the 215 car. for Ricky Burke and Mark Simon. The scenery never changes. And Ricky, once again, gets the edge on Simon on the restart. Around goes Doug Fick Jr.
Hard to step out. The video that breaks, like I said. Cameron Evans undoubtedly got into the back of the 4 of Vic Jr. Video doesn't lie sometimes, but hate that for both of those guys. It just sometimes happens when you're racing hard for 5,000. Look at Dean Rasco trying to fight there to the inside on this restart to the inside of the 14 of Landers. He's got that spot. Oh, and they're going to try to stack him up on the first radio. Look at Jason Ingalls. Ingalls is now halfway through this field there, Bill. Look out for 100.
Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie coming on up there.
But the guy out front still leading the race, setting a tour pace and dictating the race out in clean air is 36J. Trying to be the Jimmy Johnson of the Ark-La-Tex Speedway Cajun Classic and become a 7-time champion where Johnson's a 7-time Cup champion. A little bit different, but this guy has been on another planet in this class since 2012. This will be career win, or not career win, but his 140th win tonight since 2012, since he won the Cajun
Rasco and
Classic.
Simon battling it. They better work it out because Josh Landers is right there.
I forget what Justin said went foul on his car at the King of the Hill, and definitely don't hope for a misfortune for any of these guys, but that's why you have the duration of it, 50 laps. But one thing is, a lot of these guys haven't put the wear and tear on their cars. The guys that didn't have to run an E and a D and a C, although not that many made it out of the E all the way up to the A main. But these guys haven't had to put the wear and tear on their equipment. Cowboy Blanchard is, it looks like, in the top 10 right now. And, man, I'll tell you, he's the guy that came out of the E-Main.
Yep, Cowboys had a great night.
You know, Doug Vic Jr. talked about in his pro-out interview just how worn out he was after that race. He said, man, I'm going to be whooped after I get out of the factory stock. Obviously, if you make the whole 50, but just this race alone can definitely test your endurance. And Justin Whitehead is just gapping them right now. The 6-time champion of this event, trying to go back to back to back. And something Bill had noted, I saw earlier this week, that he's been 0 for 2, just kind of, you know, fooling about, giving some of these other guys hope that felt like he was the ultimate favorite. Of course he's the favorite, but that doesn't mean you can't get in here and find a new winner in victory lane, because it's happened. Oh, Ricky Ingalls and the 45 of Blanchard got together there off of 2. Ingalls caught some air. And you can see the damage on the 45. Oh, and Ricky Ingalls just lost the handle there. And the green stays on, but the caution's out now. These guys just have to even use up their equipment and drive their stuff even harder to try to catch the 36J. Whitehead back on the loud pedal with 21 laps to go. Bo Perry with a stellar run all weekend long to this point. Oh, Mark Simon's around on the frustrator, as well as the 11 of Bowden and the 007 of Yount. Oh, my. And Mark Simon just stalled it out on the front straightaway. The caution will wave once again. You know what? Plenty of laps to go. He's not been crowned yet. Like I said, anything can happen. The fat lady is not saying, if you will. The lights are out. We're back underway.
Chris Hennigan trying to get second away from Bo Perry, and Hennigan pulls off the pass. He got a real good start. Look at Jason Ingalls digging on the inside of the racetrack.
Uh-oh.
Jason up to 6th.
Here comes
20 to go.
Jason.
20 to go.
Racing, Jason Ingalls living up to his moniker. He's racing. He's slamming down the bottom. How about Dean Rasco sitting in the 4th spot? Bill Kitchen, what about that?
He took 4th away from his son-in-law there.
This is good.
Snookered right past him.
I told Dean last night, I said, man, you were awesome last night. Man, I was bouncing around like a ping pong ball out there. You know, he's a funny guy. But anyway, what Dean's been able to do here is impressive. Up to 4th. The Ark-La-Tex Mechanical number 45. Here comes his son-in-law back to his inside down the back straightaway. Ricky Burke Well, no, he won't. Show some respect to him there. They'll race hard door to door off of 4. Hennigan not letting 36J get too far out ahead here.
I'll tell you what, Josh Landers and Jason Ingles over the back of Ricky Burke. And now Ricky Burke gets back past Dean Rasco. Rasco bumped him a little bit.
Look out,
now
Dean.
here comes Landers.
Boy, I tell you,
and Jason Ingles.
That's the difference right there. Just hopping up out of the groove for a split second, Bill. You can lose 2 spots.
How about Travis Bowden? He won the non-winners feature. Look at him inside the top 10.
Telling you. That's what he said in that interview I enjoyed so much was that, Bill, you jinxed him.
Oh, good grief.
I mean, would you stop? No, I'm just kidding. You know, what Travis said in that interview last night was that, man, when he gets out of this class, he wants people to remember who his name was. And I respect that a great deal. Green, yellow stays on. Green, yellow stays on. And the yellow is out.
Yeah. Right.
Back underway, the green flag waves over the field. Chris Hennigan still has second. Bo Perry stalking him into 1. And how about Jason Ingles looking to break inside of the top 5 now? Jason Ingles side by side with the Mesquite Tex under the 14 of Josh Landers. Although Jared Landers, and Ingles! That was just a racing deal there. It looked like a hard racing deal.
Craig Oakes has got himself back up to 6th after his runner-up last year. Cowboy Blanchard in 7th. Dustin Young 8th. Here we go.
Whitehead leads with 15 more to go. And Hennigan trying to fend off Bo Perry, and that.
I'm kind of surprised Chris picked the inside, but I guess he felt that it was his only chance to win the race would be to restart on the inside, not the outside. So.
And Ingles is done. Ingles in the 100 is done. And how about the driver who sits 5th? Mentioned earlier. How you never wanted to count him out this weekend after that great race with Scotty Hesselpeck. One heat race doesn't necessarily tell the tale. But we've seen Cowboy Blanchard when his back's against the wall. Started 22nd in that inaugural King of the Hill event, paying $10,000 and finished 2nd.
10 to go this time
of
by.
his career.
10 to go.
It's 9 laps to go. That time by at the flag stand for Justin Aubrey Whitehead.
Remember TJ Evans? He went to the back when he bumped Doug Vick Jr. He's now up to 7th and trying to get to 6th.
And Whitehead, this was the lap that he happened to fall out of at the King of the Hill event, but he's already crossed that. 7 to go. Led 42 of 50 at the King of the Hill. The last large paying factory stock race that paid $7,000 in Greenwood.
Mike Wells says that's enough. Takes his car to the infield.
The Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship coming up this weekend. The caution is out.
Okay.
What if Ricky Burke Jr. just hits the...
This will be the last, maybe the last green flag run. Here we go.
Time to hit the boost. Here we go. Ricky Burke Jr. Gonna look to be slick and live up to his moniker, as well as Cowboy. He wants to throw that lasso out and rope these top 3 to him and play spoiler here, as he is.
Evans and Oakes having a good battle there for that 5th spot.
Cowboy, the only Cajun, or who still lives in the state of Louisiana. Of course, Burke Jr. will claim him from Louisiana still, because formerly from Bethany, and promoter of the Boot Hill Speedway, home of the Louisiana State Championship coming up next Friday and Saturday night. But Burke now out of Elysian Fields, Texas, so it's a trio of Texans, 1, 2, and 3 right now. Louisiana in 4th. Derek Daniels still out there running on the racetrack of the D28 as well. It's 3 laps to go this time by, race fans. Down the front straightaway into 1. Off of 4. It's 2 to go. Or maybe it still is 3 to go this time.
TJ Evans still battling hard. I mean, him and Craig Oaks have had a great race. If that was the race for the win, everybody be jumping up and down right now. 2 to go.
2 sticks shown from flagman Kenny Crawford. The final 2 laps of the 2017 season until we'll see you back here, I imagine, for the Pelican 100 or Pelican 50. And
Ricky Ingles took advantage of the pass that TJ made to grab 6th. White flag in the air. That may be the last position change of this race.
What this driver has been able to do out of Hooks, Texas since 2012 when he won the Cajun Classic. Then for his 3rd time, he won it for the first time at the age of 15 years old in 05. Won it again at the age of 16 in 06. It'll be back to back to back for the driver of the Spencer & Son Timber. Saints for 36J Justin Whitehead with his 7th unprecedented Cajun Classic title. Unbelievable. Chris Hennigan 2nd. Ricky Burke Jr. grabs 3rd. Y'all hang out for it for a minute, folks. Trying to get it wound up underneath the hood. The driver of the Pro 1 transmission, West Virginia Power, Thompson Motorsports, Spencer & Son Timber, Henry's Motorsports, Saints Ford, RaceWalkTexas.com, 36J. Burning the house down again here in Vivian. I'm getting hit by rubber. Folks, when he climbs out, give him a big round of applause. He deserves it. If he can breathe. Give it up for the 7-time Cajun Classic winner, Justin Whitehead. Justin, give you a moment to collect your breath there. Wow. You know, that kind of become your trademark little signature win there. This race means so much to you, obviously, in your racing career. Now your 7th unprecedented Cajun Classic title. I could say, what does this mean to you? You've won this race so many times. I talked to you in the pits last night. I said, Justin, what do we talk about after this one? Did it fire you up to just come back and try to do this again, knowing you haven't won this race maybe 3 times in a row? Everybody's talking about this week. You've never won this race 3 times. Does that kind of light a fire in you? Say, man, I got to go out here and get this done.
No, not at all. We treat it like every other weekend, like we've discussed before. I couldn't do it without all my help. They're here. Thompson Motorsports, DRS Racing Shocks, RaceOnTexas.com, Sames Ford, Henry Motorsports, Spencer & Son Timber, Borderloin Septic, the Thompsons, of course, Phone Pros, Hadaway's Towing, A&T Delivery, Best Engines. There's just so many people. My wife, my kid. It's so awesome.
I don't think you'd ever tell me a story, but do you truly treat this race like any other race of the year? I mean, versus a 500 or versus a 5,000? Because I know at Boot Hill earlier this year, you're leading. You led the first 42 laps at Boot Hill for 7,000 on the line. I mean, I'm not sure what happened that night. I mean, you make sure you comb the car over a little bit extra special to make sure what happened to you back in Greenwood did not happen again here tonight.
It actually fell on its face on one of the restarts, and I don't know if I could have went through that again, but I appreciate everybody running me clean. Track obviously wasn't exactly what everybody wanted to race on, but we got lucky. Ended up on pole outside and was able to lead every lap.
With quite a few cautions there, but were you ever nervous? Knowing Chris Hennigan's back here at some point, I mean, as good as he was in your outlaw wagon that you built earlier this year, as good as he was all weekend, I mean, just the other, I mean, there's 146 great competitors here this weekend. You never can feel too certain until you cross that checkered flag.
Oh, yeah, we're nervous every single week. It don't matter where we race. And, yeah, I was nervous under caution, especially when I heard Chris got to second. But I can't thank them enough, you know, for choosing us to build a car. And they had one hell of a driver in it.
You know, keep going for just one moment. You stayed humbled in your racing career. You always have. You always say the right things. This is your 141st 141st win since you won this race in 2012 for the third time at that time. You won this race, obviously, at the age of 15 years old in 2005, and again back-to-back in 06 at the age of 16. But your 141st win tonight, Justin, since 2012. Talked about this race being unprecedented, win it 7 times. I think 141 wins is pretty remarkable, man.
I appreciate it. This car's actually sold. Somebody's living with it tonight, so you won't see me in it again.
Who's getting it?
Somebody Craig Oaks knows. I got the trailer waiting.
They're getting a bad, fast race car, aren't they?
Yes,
well, it's always nice to have the family and everybody on board, man. Did you get a chance to thank all your sponsors and everybody in particular real quick? I'll give you an opportunity to thank everybody who helps you out.
I missed, I think, Pro One Trans, Team 5 Enterprise. I said my wife. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I say that again. My parents, Chris, my pit crew, he's awesome. Make sure everything's tight on this thing and I ain't had nothing fall off yet.
I could have talked to you about quite a few things there. Congratulations to you, man, and you've earned it. Your 7th Cajun Classic title, man.
Thanks, sir.
Justin Whitehead from Hooks, Texas gets it done again here in Vivian. Where's Winnigan Hennigan? Give the Marshall Texan Winnigan Chris Hennigan a big round of applause. Chris, man, you got a knack for making these big races. This is your 6th Cajun Classic A-main appearance, and boy, you had a super car last night. I think you kind of got hung out there in the B-main, which kind of put you back a little bit, but man, nonetheless, you came back up to a strong 2nd after fading there earlier in this race.
Yeah, it was pretty good, and the longer we ran, the looser I got, so I think we made a few bad calls, but otherwise, it was pretty good.
You don't typically drive the factory stocks all season long. When this big money's on the line, you can bet Chris Hennigan's probably going to get a phone call and get the ride. How did this kind of come about with the Mercer Racing team and that Outlaw race car?
Lee Patton hurt his back and couldn't do it, and he called me up, and Mr. Tommy, I like to thank them for putting me in it. It was a good car, and I think I let them down.
Well, I mean, did you have a lot of fun this weekend, though? I know you'd probably say 2nd isn't much fun, but still pretty decent payday, and I'm sure you had some fun this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We learned a lot about the factory stock stuff, and you can't beat Justin. It don't matter in a factory stock. He's good.
Gave everything you had.
Yeah, I was give out.
Man, for all the fans, I actually had a few folks ask me what you were going to do the rest of the year. What are your plans for the rest of this season?
I think we're going to go to Ardmore, Oklahoma for the Tom's National deal, and probably Lone Star, and that's about it.
Best of luck to you down the road, Chris. Good to see you here in a factory stock this weekend, man.
All right, thanks.
It's Winnigan Chris Hennigan out of Marshall, the 2008 Cajun Classic winner. 3rd tonight, how about it for the Boot Hill Speedway promoter, Slick Ricky Burke Jr. Boy, Ricky, at one point in that race, you and Dino are running 4th and 5th, and man, I'll tell you, a little shake and bake there, you and Fowler. I'm sure that was a ton of fun tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's always a blast racing with Dean. He's one of the cleanest ones out here. And I got to thank Dean. He wouldn't be here without him, and Tommy, and Whitney, and Remy, and Corey, and James Griffin with Bootlegger Race Cars. In the B-main, right before halfway, I broke a brake line and kind of faded with no brakes. Just started to pull off, and I stayed out there and finished, and I'm glad I did.
We had talked about, I could have talked to Justin about him trading in his helmet for the promoter hat to promote the Timberlawn Speedway on Friday nights. You've done the same with Boot Hill this year, and you, Tim, Danielle, everybody's done a phenomenal job at Boot Hill this year. What does that mean to you to come out here with this slick new car you've got here? I mean, I said it was the best looking car all weekend long. You know, no offense to anybody else here. It's a good looking wagon too, but I mean, to come out here to race as little as you have this year, to have this performance has got to be awesome for you and this race team.
Oh, yeah. It's, I definitely wasn't expecting it. It's the first or second night out with the car. A lot of fun promoting this different side of things. They're here tonight. Tim and Danielle, thank them. After tonight, I kind of want to go back to racing, though.
Yeah, hey, but you don't have that many more to go. I mean, I'm not sure where you're going to find a race at, but you got a few at Lone Star and some other places. Not sure if we'll see you down there, but I know it's got to fire you up to get back behind the cockpit of this thing. Give you an opportunity to thank all the folks that help you out.
I want to thank PTS Motors, John McLemore. I got to look. Bootlegger Race Cars, Rollo's, Oil and Lube. Like I said a while ago, Dean, Whitney, Remy, and Corey. Back in the pits after that B-main when I broke the brake line, John Griffin, KP, Scott Young. There was a whole crew of them over there trying to get brakes back on the car and getting the tires changed. And thank all them, because they weren't here, I wouldn't have made it out here.
Well, we say let's park this thing and let's get ready for that 45th Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship next week.
Oh, yeah. One more, Stan Boyd. He's over there with Dean. Bean's pit crew. He helped me, too. But thank all y'all for coming. I hope y'all make it to Boot Hill next week.
Awesome run, Ricky. Good job.
Appreciate it, Zach.
Ricky Burton Jr.